Good morning. So it's been quite a few weeks since I've done a video diary. Things have been good for the most part. I definitely feel like I've been growing, managing things a little bit better. I actually can't remember what my last video was, but over the last month I have managed a few sober days, which is positive and encouraging. It shows me that I can do it when I stick to a plan and keep trying, and rather than just sort of giving in as soon as a thought presents itself. And so through January I felt like I was really actually quite managing quite well. I feel like so what's happened to make me want to, I guess, do another video is I've seen something on Facebook today, and I'm just sort of struggling with like head versus heart feelings and thoughts, and when I try to sort of reach out to talk to someone about it, no one really wants to talk for different reasons. And yeah, I feel like I need this, I need to explore what's coming up a little bit more, just so that I can really settle, I suppose, on how I feel about it. So what has happened, or what I saw today, was Bill is now in a relationship. Simple as that. He put it up on Facebook, and so I've seen that, and my initial reaction is obviously like a little bit of I don't know, like a bit of pain, a twang of pain, but in my chest, behind my sternum, which, I've obviously identified is, a brand of rejection and inadequacy, and basically that's all of the feelings it's kind of triggered up. Even though rationally in my mind I can sit there and go, you didn't really like being with Bill, and you, I didn't feel like I was getting what I wanted out of our interactions, or I was getting like the bare minimum met, but I wasn't really sort of having someone meet me where I wanted to be met. He was, not rude, or a bit rude, but like not, I don't know, like just, sexually things weren't bad, but they weren't ideal. We're not really compatible, I don't think, in that sense. And so like there are a lot of reasons, that I didn't pursue anything with Bill any further either. Like I literally haven't heard or spoken to him since the 2nd of January, where he wished me a happy new year, and I was telling him about all the shit that went down with Alex. So that's like the last time we've spoken. So I really shouldn't be shocked or surprised or whatever. So yeah, like in my head I'm like, this is fine. You guys weren't suited for each other, you weren't happy with where it was going, and even so what's happened over the last couple of days, I've noticed, so Mum and Dad came down last weekend, and I didn't think I would, but I actually made it through 2 sober days with them here. So the first night was the night that they were here. The second night, I got through shit on my own, by, coming up with a checklist of a plan and following through with that. And then come Monday night, I don't know, I had a free I had a client that I had to give a free treatment to from like a charity booking, and I just felt, I knew all I had to do was just take my sleeping meds and, you know, find something to do for an hour and I'd be fine. But for some reason I didn't want to do that. So yeah, instead I used, and I've kind of been using since, I had a plan in my head that, well, you know, it's my birthday last Thursday, and so maybe that can be my last night. And that was the plan, but it didn't end up happening that way across the Friday and last night. And where that, I believe, or I feel, has come from, and where it's like led me to go with my thoughts is, so like on the Thursday, you know, like social media is very active with people wishing me happy birthday. Like it's very, very positive. And like, so after I've gone through this sort of almost a month of trying to sort of figure out what's May's needs when she's not of service to other people, and how can I meet those needs, and how can I establish a routine that, you know, sets me up for the best day or whatever. And then, yeah, and starting to sort of come to peace with, I guess, being alone and everything. And then and then it's my birthday, so suddenly I'm getting a lot of attention from people, which is really, really nice. And then I have a friend, you know, come over and we go out to dinner and, you know, hang out. She stayed the night, and then the next day, the two of us met up with another friend to do a couple of lake laps to be active, and then the three of us were back at here again for coffee and cupcakes to celebrate my birthday. And so yeah, I've had like people and company around, which has been really, really lovely. And so then as soon as they left, you know, just after lunch, I was like, I don't, empty was the first word that wanted to come out, but it's not how I felt, but it did, yeah, I did feel really lonely, I guess, all of a sudden. I was hyper aware of the juxtaposition of being back on my own again, and that feeling was really, really uncomfortable. And so that's why I used Friday, even though I wanted that to be a day one. And I said to myself, you know, that's fine. You're aware of this trigger and you can talk about it and blah, 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 blah. And then I ended up getting a little bit upset over something yesterday and decided, fuck it, I don't care. So I like used again and I didn't eat dinner. So, and while I'm doing these behaviors, I can hear, like, you know, I'm telling myself in my head, I'm like, I know you think that this is what you want to do right now, but you are like sabotaging yourself for the future if this is like the road that you go down, because you know you need to eat better so that your mood is better. You know that you need to do, you know, like there's all this stuff that I know I need to do, but it's not hardwired into my programming, so I need to be a lot more conscious of it, and it's really hard to, I guess, feel motivated to do that just for myself, because I'm, yeah, I don't know, that's something else that probably needs to be explored. And so, yeah, I've gone on to social media today and seen that, yeah, Bill's now in a relationship, and while in my head I'm telling myself, you know, good for him. That's really, really wonderful. I'm not there yet. I'm, yeah, well, not even like not there yet. These interactions and how I've reacted to being around other people tells me that I'm not really ready for that step yet, because I obviously, or I think, what I think is happening is I'm obviously still sort of slightly like codependently attaching, And yeah, and really, I need to just focus on my own lane and my own health and my own growth, etc., etc., etc. And yeah, like that was kind of the thought that I was having yesterday, seeing as I seem to be so, triggered by other people. I'm letting other people's actions and thoughts and things like that affect me. And I don't want to be like that anymore. And so I believe that if I have like a better relationship with myself, then what other people say won't affect me so much. So that's what I'm really trying to focus on cultivating. But I guess then the other side of it is then it's like, well, you can't be black and white about it all, May. Like you can't push everyone away so that you're alone, so that you can figure out all this stuff for yourself, and then like, turn around and like open doors and just be like, all right, so when's everyone coming back in again? It doesn't work like that. Everyone has their own individual realities, and yeah, I mean, I can set up boundaries and protect myself and try to maintain a status quo of what I want my life to look like, but I can do that once I have one established. I don't know, just sort of all this stuff's kind of coming up and out right now, and yeah, I think more than anything, I'm really disappointed in myself that I'm like even having to do something like this over the whole Bill thing, because yeah, rationally in my head, I'm like, it doesn't matter. You weren't really that happy with him. You stopped talking to him because you didn't really like him that much, and you were just being in contact to be polite or whatever. So yeah. But yeah, there are like feelings of inadequacies, I guess, and my brain does sit there and go, oh, is it the girl whose lip balm that I saw? And so then where do I slot into it? And am I just a fuck thing and something that like no one takes seriously, or I don't know. But it's like I can sit here and drive myself crazy thinking all these questions that I'm not going to get an answer to. Or I can just go, you fucking weren't right for each other. And when the right one comes along, it won't be like that. You won't feel as insecure because they'll know how to talk to you, communicate in a way that you understand, whether it's the same love language or whether they have the patience to give me some assurances or whatever. I don't fucking know. I don't know how things are going to look. And, I'm meant to be, I don't know, just stuff. Anyway, so yeah, I've got all these sort of thoughts in my head. I hadn't heard from Pete in like weeks. And he called on Thursday to wish me a happy birthday. And he tried calling Friday, but I missed him. He called yesterday. I was at the gym, so we only spoke for like a minute. I couldn't really hear too much of what he was saying, and he said he was going to try and call again today. I mean, that's nice. It's nice that I heard from him and things like that. But I sent him a letter, I think it must have been Friday or Thursday. Right, I mean, I'd had quite a good week this week with a bit of a win regarding the Redan Club, and I was just feeling like over the moon, like chuffed. And yeah, and I mean, I've been sharing that with him, but then I also said that like in the letter that I am recognizing so much growth in myself, and I am proud of myself for like the growth that I'd achieved in like the first half of this week. And so, when he says, I'm not saying I'm not gonna wait for you. I'm just saying I'm just focusing on myself right now. I'm working on myself and improving myself, and we don't know each other. I'm trying to grow, and I am growing, so I don't know what the kind of people we're going to look like. If I've grown this much in a month, how much am I going to grow in the next 6 to 8 weeks? So, not that I've grown a whole great deal, but I am becoming increasingly aware and, doing good things for myself. So I am growing a little bit, but I'm not saying I'm like a whole new person, but I can already see that I'm starting to change. And so I don't want to make any promises that who I'm going to be in 2 months' time is going to be someone that, I don't know, wants to be with him or that he wants to be with. But I said, look, let's just focus on being each other's friend, because I don't think that you actually really know anything about me to want me to be your girlfriend or whatever. So yeah, I've sent that letter, but I don't know if he's calling so much because he's, been moved to a better facility, has money to call me again and is happy that I'm talking to him, or I don't know. I guess I don't know what his expectations are, and maybe I'm creating my own kind of stress in wondering how am I going to manage his expectations, but his expectations are his to manage. I've sent that letter communicating things, and I'm sure we'll have more of a chance to talk or whatever at another time. So yeah, things are weird. I kind of feel like maybe because I've been fixating on finding a partner for so long, like the universe is going, what about this person? What about this person? What about this person? Just like popping different people up. But then at the same time, I don't know. This person could just be asking me out to dinner to catch up. Or it could be a fucking date. I have no fucking clue. But I know that I don't want to be with those people. But maybe I should be more honest. But because it's not flagging me or slapping me in the face like it's potentially a date, I'm not treating it like one, and I don't want to make things weird by being like, is this a date? Should I, what are you expecting from me? So I'm just sort of playing it by ear and taking it as it comes. I guess I've just sort of hit a point where there seems to be just sort of a lot of build-up of information, and I needed a way to let it out. This is, going to be a 20-minute video, so obviously it was going to be like fucking heaps to write out, and I've got more things to do with my day. So, thanks for listening, thanks for watching and tuning in or whatever. Had to find a spot to just get out some of the things that are in my head, because some of the things in my head and how I'm feeling, because I'm not really having much of an opportunity to do that with other people, and I don't know, it's not something I want to call Lifeline about. Simple as that. So yeah, anyway, it is what it is. I'm going to finish my last 2 mouthfuls of breakfast, head out for a cigarette, and then I might go for a lake walk or something. Training for walking off the wall within's going well, but I am starting to get like shin splints, so I'm not doing enough recovery to look after my body. So that's something I need to adopt more if I want to keep tracking along well. All learning curves. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.